What's up, you guys? Michael here. Today I'm going to break down our very first Airbnb property investment. I'm going to talk to you guys exactly how much we put down on the property, what the closing costs were, what the furniture costs were, and then I'll walk through some struggles we had setting it up, some kind of funky things we had to do, and then ultimately what led us to this property specifically, and how we're cash flowing over $6,000 per month today on that unit that we acquired at the end of 2019. So when we were first looking for Airbnb properties to invest in, we were looking in Gatlinburg, Tennessee and Nashville, Tennessee. We ultimately had the right opportunity come to us in Nashville. It was about October 2019, and a realtor that we were working with who was focusing on investment properties for investors sent us this newer build in a new development on the east side of town. And I was very nervous to make this first investment, but we did so much research, looked on AirDNA, we looked at comps in the area, just reviewed the numbers over and over again to ensure that on a conservative forecast, meaning the daily rate and the occupancy rate, made enough sense that we would still cash flow and have a good return on our investment. What we did, it was a $495,000 purchase price. We actually were looking to do a second home loan and then learn that you can really only use that if you have the intention of using it as a vacation home. And there are some guidelines around that you have to be aware of. So we were gonna do that in Gatlinburg, but then we pivoted to Nashville. And instead of putting 10% down, we realized we had to put at least 15% down utilizing a conventional investment loan. So what we did here, it was a $495,000 purchase price, so the down payment was $74,250. We negotiated with the seller and actually got them to pay for some of our closing costs. The total expenses and furniture, and funny enough, I didn't realize how much it cost to furnish a larger property, so we were stretching our budget just for the down payment, and then we're like, oh my gosh, it costs a lot of money to furnish a 4-bedroom house with a rooftop patio in the matter of weeks. So I actually traded in my truck and sold it basically, and then traded it in for a Honda CR-V, and we got probably, I can't remember the exact amount, about $20,000 out of that, and we spent a total of $30,374 on furniture, and part of that was actually putting a mural in the living room. So as you guys can see in the photo, there's this giant custom mural with butterfly wings with the word Nashville written above it. And a local mural artist drew that up for us, and the intention behind that, my goal from day one was to create an experience within our properties that gives somebody the extra motivation to book ours versus the neighbors, and book ours at a higher daily rate and more frequently. People are willing to pay more for an experience, and our target clientele were bachelorette parties or people coming to Nashville for a special occasion. Believe it or not, people are willing to pay for that one photo moment because that creates a memory for them and their friends to cherish for a lifetime. And everybody wants to take a photo or a selfie showing everyone else back home or that follows them on the internet how great of a time they're having. Look at this amazing property that I'm staying at. Look at this cool photo. Look at this cool mural. Nashville also has murals all over the city that are interactive and blew up on social media. A lot of them are interactive with wings, or there's one in the east side of town that looks like you're in a hot air balloon. All sorts of fun murals. It's pretty common now. So we wanted to bring that experience of Nashville into the living room of this property. So that mural only cost us $2,500, believe it or not. We actually probably got a steal on that. And the guy after told us he probably should have charged us more. But that mural has helped make us hundreds of thousands of dollars on Airbnb. So furniture and design expenses, just over $30K. Down payment was about $74,250. So the total between those two is $104,624. And we had right about $5,000 to $6,000 additional expense that was between closing costs and then a couple of other little setup fees like the Nashville permit and some other licensing as well. And we launched it in December. We had our first booking, and it was actually a 30-day stay, and we were so jacked up because we were just excited to cover the mortgage our first month, and we had no idea what to expect. Turns out it was like a really strange booking. It was a company, an aquatic management company, booking for like teenagers that were on J1 visas, I think is the correct term, that were working and studying at the same time for this company. And what I didn't know is that the person booking it wasn't actually staying there, which is a big no-no on Airbnb. So we probably shouldn't have allowed them to stay, but we did. And then the kids ransacked the place. They didn't take anything super important, but we spent probably $500 with the extra supplies, like, a bunch of coffee pods, a bunch of dish pods, like cleaning, everything that is there just for like the next several months for guests to use and our cleaners to use, gone. We did charge them and they paid for it, but it's just like kind of a funny story looking back on it. Don't recommend long-term stays unless that's your primary focus. And so after the first few months, we were set to cash flow in March. This was like our third full month live, like $7,000 after all expenses, $7,000 on one property. Honestly, crazy. That was just the proof that we needed to see that we made the right investment decision. And Nashville's super busy March to really October. November, December are okay, then January, February are quite slow. Then COVID hit. So when COVID hit, we had like $40,000 worth of cancellations in the matter of weeks. Cancellations being future reservations. And even though we had a cancellation policy, Airbnb overrode those policies during that period of time. We were still cash flow positive all throughout 2020, albeit much less than we normally would have been. This property today, I think in 2020 it did just shy of $150,000 in revenue in 1 year. And our cash flow on that was, I think, $78,000. I'd have to double check the math. I'm pretty sure it was about $78K. A single property, cash flowed about $6,500 a month. So if you guys are thinking about getting into short-term rentals and Airbnb, you have to make sure that you're doing the right research and consuming the right data in the marketplace, finding good comps, and ensuring that the investment is sound. But if you do things the right way and you market and price your property in a way that maximizes your revenue, the chances you can make crazy money are quite high, in my opinion. And it's still an amazing time to get started in Airbnb. I can't recommend it enough. It's what set my wife and I financially free in less than 12 months on 3 properties. Because a single property can cash flow you thousands of dollars a month, it doesn't take but 1 to 3 properties to set the average person financially free. So once you're financially free, you could fire your boss, you could leave your job, you could travel full time, really do whatever you want. If you guys want to learn more about investing in short-term rentals, I'll drop a link in the description below to BNB Investor Academy. At this point in time, I've taught over 1,000 people how to do this very same thing, following a very simple blueprint. And if you implement these strategies, it's very difficult to fail. So would love to work with you guys. But other than that, thanks for watching.